Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Hope you're having a good week so far and all that jazz. Thanks for tuning in to the Unsigned Showcase. Today we've got an EP review to do, but for a cool band that we know about anyway. We've already checked this band out, but it's our great duo, Alex Savini and Nooses on the mic. And they've played some new kind of music for us this time, and it's called Phonk Slam. Now I've had to look up what that even is, and there's a Nick Nocturnal video talking all about it and all the elements that are in there. It's basically a hip-hop electronic edge coming in with funk, which is apparently a kind of electronic stuff as well, but then they've pushed that into death metal somehow, and then added slam as well on top of that. So it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Electronic, deathy hip-hop is what it is. It's a weird kind of thing, but we're going to check it out today. We've got 5 tracks to listen to. I'll get this on the screen. It says the debut EP from electronic slamming death project Miscreant of Malfeasance, which is a right name to say as well, is finally here. It's jam-packed with 5 tracks of pure electronic slamming deathcore, tech death, black metal influenced funky death metal. So it's the right stuff. And this is the debut Phonk Slam EP. Promises plenty of vibes from the gross gutturals to the bouncing synths to the blasting bass drops, crazy riffs and gnarly breakdowns. Man, there's a right mouthful of stuff to say in there, but it sounds all really dope. The logo is by Wind and Slam artwork. The cover art, I can't speak now after all those words, is to Number Artworks, and then the EP stream is by Malevolent Media, who we always love. Let's get this on. It's 5 tracks. It's 14 minutes long, so they're not too longer tracks. Let's give it a spin. It's all over the place. Just an intro. Sounded great. I'm going to stop it there to quickly talk about that because it had loads of cool elements in. Man, this music doesn't sound like you'd expect it to sound. It's really different. I would say it's actually almost electronic music primarily, or at least that track was, let's say, primarily electronic, but with metal elements on top of that. Really, really cool. And it didn't really sound like, it didn't mash together either. The electronic elements, even though they were orchestrally synths and things like that, but then with blasting drums and blasting riffs, it really meshed nicely together. It didn't sound like kind of symphonic metal, it sounded like electronic with metal elements. Really cool. Let's keep it going.
Underestimate me, boy.
Sounds quite different with the vocal. A lot more heavy, obviously not electronic with some metal elements. Oh, let's just stop that there. Not electronic with some metal elements in this one. This was definitely metal with some more electronic elements, but really great. Again, moved into the electronic stuff really nicely. Goes with the music, and that's hard to always do, is to have electronic and distorted guitars and real drums mesh together, because they're quite different types of sounds, and to get the gel to make them go together and not just be like oil and water is difficult. But this music's working it out. It sounds great. I really love the riffing in there as well. The kind of stuff in there sounds really great, and that's the funk element that's been added to the death metal as well, which is really cool. I really like it. Sounds dope. So let's keep it going.
Our regular programming with Earth news. Our planet is currently under invasion by a highly dangerous and predatory alien species. Reports confirm that these extraterrestrial beings exhibit hostile behavior and advanced technology far beyond our own. Authorities are urging all citizens to remain indoors and stay tuned for further safety instructions. We will continue to bring you updates. Stay safe, and remember, you are already dead.
I'm actually really enjoying this music. I think it's sick as hell. There's loads to listen to. Loads of different energies coming in and out the mix. Loads of different sounds coming in and out the mix. The drums sound amazing. I'm sure they're MIDI drums, but man, MIDI drums just sound so sick nowadays. That ride tinging out just sounds absolutely incredible. As good as any recording I've heard. Yeah, it sounds absolutely great. There's loads of energy in the drums. There's loads of energy in the riffs. There's different beats and kind of stompy sections and electronic sections coming in, which are mixing it up all over the place, which sounds really great. But what I realize, or starting to realize now from this track, is that this music gives Nooses the ability to just do pretty much anything he wants. He can work out his throat in any kind of way because it suits the black and fry, the high-pitched stuff, and then he can bring it right down to the deepest gutturals as well, and some shouts and everything in between, and it all works for the kind of music, you know. It's not like death metal where you just use gutturals for it to sound right, or hardcore where it's only really sounds right with a hardcore shout. This music is kind of an open enough template for him to be able to just go at it in any way he likes and just pull it in all the different directions that he can do and really showcase his throat. So it's just absolutely perfect for him as well, to be able to just do his thing over the top. Really great music. I'm enjoying it a lot. Let's keep it going. Kind of like anything goes in this music. It all just works. Man, I'm becoming really, really impressed by this music as every second goes by. There's so many elements combined in this music. Electronic elements, house elements, the different beats, the different slams, the different kinds of drum beats that are in there, the different kind of drum sets that are in there as well, moving from electronic to the real drums, which is really, really cool, and just doing it from a blast section into a stompy house section. And that's so hard to make work normally, but these guys just seem to, everything they touch turns to gold because it just all works. All the electronic side is working super nice with the metal side. And those are such hard elements to bring together, especially house type beats and metal, and normally just sound pure cheese on toast. That wasn't cheesy whatsoever. It sounded great, sounded industrial, distorted, just sat right in the mix right, moved from one section to the next, from a metal section to an electronic section, really, really smoothly and nicely, didn't seem out of place whatsoever. That's impressive to me because I've heard so many bands try and blend electronic. I mean, go back to the MySpace days of all those, I can't remember the name of the band now, but the guys who were doing the house electronic stuff and screamo. It was such cheesy music, crabcore and all of that stuff, if you remember that. It was really, really cheesy music to go from a stomping house beat straight into metal because they just did not gel together right. They're two totally different types of sounds and vibes and energies and everything. But these guys are really making it work super smooth. Here we go. Oh, this is the last one already.
destruction ain't no saving grace for anyone. Yeah, the price been paid, the toll's been laid, now your world's to come undone. Struggle for survival and you damn sure ain't the time. So try to hustle for reprisal, but the kill machine won't stop. Yeah, now you've been on the radar, playing games for far too long, and now it's time to make your back.
Sick.
Escaping, cold, wasted, cold in stasis. Lost the only one, I was quick and pain. So I face it, embracing the matrix, enslaving, impaling. Our fate is debated, created, and ancient. Now there are replacements. We came here to
There you go. In the space of 20 minutes, I've gone, and hopefully you've gone as well, from someone who barely knew what the hell Phonk Slam even meant, to someone who really, really loves what it's all about and wants to hear way more of it as well. Absolutely sick. I thought every single track was super dope. Really liked the intro and the electronic edge that brought to us to let us know that this stuff has electronic. But from then on, they just absolutely Phonk Slammed us out. It's super heavy music, but just moving about with so many different elements coming into the mix. Electronic, different types of electronic, different types of metal. And then just to gives the platform for the vocals to just be all out, everything they want, from the nastiest, bitiest, black and fry, rattling down your ear, scratching down your ear, to the deepest gutturals from the deepest pits of your stomach, just kind of coming through as well. And everything else, you can shout on this stuff. You can go fast and choppy and like almost, like rappy with it, or you can slow it down and do long ass screams and everything else, because it just gives you an open page to just do what you like as a vocalist. That is so sick as well. And it must just be fun to sing to it, because you can just pretty much do whatever you like. Man, I really am impressed by this music. As much as enjoying it and getting down to it and, being pounded and slammed by it, just as someone who, likes music and thinks about and making songs and things like that, and as, kind of just done that through all the generations of music. This is, I'm not going to say it's a totally brand new style of music, because it is still pulling from other elements, but it's a fresh way to pull these elements together and a really, really cool way to do it. And as I say, it was almost like they couldn't go wrong with this stuff. Every element they brought into the mix, every type of electronic sound that came in, every movement from the metal to the electronic just seemed to work every single time. It just sounded great every single time. Didn't sound out of place. Didn't sound cheesy, didn't sound like the electronic and the distortion wasn't blending together and kind of was sat apart. Just all worked. It just moved and it felt right. Even though you haven't really heard this kind of music before, you kind of felt the next section come in, and you knew where it was going to go, and it wasn't like you were kind of bouncing away and then you had to wait a second for the next thing to come through to figure out the next beat and then come. You were just bouncing through this stuff all the way through, so it's got a nice flow to it as well. Really, really great music. So not only heavy as hell, super heavy music to listen to, but impressive from a a writing standpoint as well. Really, really nice. So I hope these guys, if this isn't going to be the only time they do this kind of stuff together, because out of all of the projects and stuff that these guys have put out, Alex and Nooses, this for me personally is by far the most interesting and the dopest one out of them all. Really, really cool. And they're tapping into something fresh and cool and thinking outside the box. So do some more of this stuff, guys. It's really, really dope. And yeah, it might even turn into the next big thing in Slam, because Slam's looking for something fresh. And, you know, this might be it. So you might inspire a lot more people to get on this boat as well, which would be dope. That's the cool thing to do. So that's it from me today, guys. If you watch this and you've got no idea what Phonk Slam was, hopefully you're now a fan of it, as just like me. And hopefully we'll get some more of it to check out on the channel again at some point in the future. So that's it from me today, guys. We'll be back Monday for the Monday grind. So have a great weekend and all that jazz, whatever you get up to. See you around. Bye.